Okay, this is episode 11. This is going to be about random numbers. Let me first say that computers cannot be random, and they're just generally quite close to random, and they're good enough. But yeah, computers can't be random, so let me just clarify that first. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Rnd function. So if I make a variable dim r as double, because Rnd, let me say r is equal to Rnd. Now this is a function that comes with VB, which generates a random number, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I do a console.writeLine r, and then I do a console.readLine, then you'll see that it gives you a random number. And now what we can do is say for I is equal to 0 to, let's say, 20. So I'm just going to show you what kind of results you get from this. It's generate 21 numbers, but that's fine. So you can see we've got quite a list of random numbers here, and that's fine. If you want numbers that are integers using this, I'll show you a different way later on. You can do convert dot to int 16 r times by 10, and this will give you a number. Now the problem is with this, there's a higher probability of getting numbers 1 through 9 rather than 10 or 0. There's half the probability of getting a 10 or 0 rather than any other number. This is because 0 gets rounded down. The only way we can get 0 is getting a number that's less than 0.49 recurring. If you want to get a number that's 10, you need to get something that's higher than 9.5 recurring. But if you wanted to get a number that's, let's say, 3, you can go from 2.5 to 3.49 recurring. So there's more of a range of numbers that you can get. Remember, this is just a decimal. So if I got rid of this convert to int, then you'll see what kind of thing you'll get. You can see there. So like that would get rounded down. This will be a 0. This will be a 0. That will be a 1. And it doesn't look. Oh yeah, that'll be a 10 there. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Now if I just do R, and then you'll see the numbers, you'll see that this is a set of numbers. If I do it again, you'll see it's the same set of random numbers. If you do it again, it's the same set of random numbers. Therefore, they're not random. And obviously the computer can't be random completely. But to help do this, you can do the Randomized Sub. So if I do Randomize here, call that. Now make sure you just call this at the start of the program before using the random function. So you can see 0.72, and then if I do it again, I get 0.421. Do it again, I get 0.921. There's a lot of 2 1s there. Okay, yeah, I don't know why. That was pretty unusual, to be honest. But yeah, you can see we're getting different numbers here. So just call this at the start of the program, and it will randomize all the randoms, so it's different from the previous launch. Or if you want to do something over and over again, then you can use this, call it anytime you want. But yeah, so that's enough about that type of random. Next, I'm showing you the random class. So I'm going to make an object of that class. I'm going to use the variable r we've previously created. Dim r as new is because we're creating an object of that class, and call it random. I'll get more into objects later on. You don't need to worry about the specifics of this yet, but yeah. So if I do a console.writeLine r.next, then you'll get a random number which is an integer, and I don't actually know what the upper bound is default. Probably the maximum number that can be stored in an integer, I assume. So yeah, let me see if this returns an integer, so it's probably just the max number that can be stored in an integer above 0. So it doesn't give you negative numbers. So bear that in mind. So if you want to get a number, let's say if we put 30 in here, then this will generate a number between 0 to 29. So it's 30 numbers, but that goes from 0 to 29. So if I do this, you can see I got 28. So if I do a for loop for I is equal to 0 to, we'll say 15, just generate 60 random numbers here. Then you can see, yeah, and we don't get the problem with the probability of 0 being less popular than any other number. It's got the same probability of getting 0 to any other number if you use this random class. So that's good. If you want a number between two numbers, then you can say, let's say 15, 30. This will give you a number between 15 and 29. Like so. I'm pretty sure it's 15 there. So you can get a 15, but you won't ever get a 30. So that's that. If you want to, let me first show you can add a seed. Now games use this. One game that uses this is Minecraft. So if I put a number in 1, 2, 3, then it'll give you some random numbers. So 29, 28, 26, 27. If I do that again, 29, 28, 26, 27. Same numbers because we'll put in a seed. So this seed allows for the same series of random numbers. So in Minecraft, the game, if you generate a terrain and you want to get the same terrain generation, you give it the same seed. So that's how that works. But if you want just random number, you don't need to put a seed there. So now I'm showing you if you want to get the next double. Like so. There's no parameters for this. It's just going to generate, let me get rid of that. It's just going to generate some numbers, and yeah, just numbers between 0 and 1. It's pretty much the same as what the Rnd function does, but with the randomized sub code above. I don't think there's much difference. I think this might give more decimal places, I'm not sure. Maybe. So that's basically that. Finally, I want to show you about the bytes thing. Next bytes. So if I make an array dim a, now you've got to give it some boundaries, 0 to say 9, which give you 10 outputs. Now this has got to be a byte. It can't be an S byte. It can't be integer. It can't be short. It must be a byte. It only works with bytes. And then if I call r dot, and r is just the variable name. For any time I've said r, it's just what the variable's called. R next bytes, and then you must pass in the a, and that must be an array, and it must be of a byte. Then if I go through and say for each item in a, console.write line a, no, not a, item. That's a for each loop if you don't know. And you'll see, and a byte is a number between 0 to 255, so a total of 256 numbers, 256 brackets 2 to the power of 8. So yeah, that's where it comes from if you're wondering, binary. So yeah. And again, this is different random numbers every time unless you give it a seed. So hopefully that has taught you something about random numbers, and hopefully you'll find something that's appropriate for your program that you want to use to get a random number. Choose which ones you think is most appropriate. I'll let you make your own judgment for that.